Hello, everybody. My name is Chris with Priority VA, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to meet with everybody here and give them a little bit of some tips and tricks, as well as some hard-earned lessons on good ways to stay engaged with a remote team. So I've personally been doing this in some capacity for probably about 7 years, working remotely and engaging with people, and I've learned a couple of things here and there. And as a team collectively, we've gone through and found a couple of ways that we can just help give you guys some tools and some tricks to stay connected during this time and just making sure that we are communicating clearly and often. And that is the very first thing that I would like to dig into for staying engaged with your remote team. You need to make sure that you are being clear in your communication, that you're sending video follow-ups, that you're writing clearly, that you're not using some ambiguous terminology, that when you're actually talking about something, you actually mention the name of that thing so that you can make sure that everybody is tracking and following the same informational pattern instead of just rampant texting and posting in Slack channels or Asana updates. We need to make sure that everybody knows exactly what we're talking about, and we need to be as clear and concise as possible when we're doing that. So one of the other things that we like to make sure that we're doing is that we're staying connected not only via text. Video is a great way to also make sure that we are staying engaged in that communication process. Loom is a wonderful tool that we use frequently for screencast recordings. Zoom, there's a variety of different webs. I mean, Hangouts, FaceTime, so many different ways. But the real tip here is to make sure that you are really clear in the way that you're communicating. Do it before people are asking. Do it more frequently than you are comfortable with. There is not going to be anybody that's going to be complaining about hearing from you too often, unless they need to get their notifications set up appropriately. So a couple of ways that you can do this on the regular is by hosting regular office hours. So having some kind of a schedule on the regular for open communication on a video platform, on Zoom, on FaceTime, whatever that might be, for you to connect. If it's 4 to 4:30 every single day, just have open door policy. This is when you can connect, have some connection time, and just do it on the regular. We can create ways that we can engage and have that expectation that everybody knows when you're going to be available. So it's a great way to keep that and foster that connection. Right now, isolation is going to be the biggest enemy. When you are new to working in a remote environment, it's easy to lose track of what other people are doing and what's going on. So we really have to be proactive in the way that we are reaching out and engaging with people. And we can find a lot of creative ways that we can go about doing that. Just this week, I was able to attend a virtual happy hour. That was a delight. It was a lot of fun. Everybody brought their own wine or beer, which was silly. It was a fun time. Great way to connect. Come prepared with a few conversation kind of questions to keep conversation going in this virtual capacity. But it was great just to have a lighthearted way to connect and stay connected with people in your group. Some of the more casual ways, I'm sure anybody that has young kids can see that video games are another way that people can stay connected. So even if you're in a work environment, casual games like card games or traditional board games are a great way to just bring the group together and maintain some of that casual connection there. So make sure that you are keeping that communication channel open. There's a bunch of different ways that you can go about doing that. And I got something new for you here. Next one, sharing your company values. This is a great way to make sure that everybody, while working remote, stays grounded and connected to what it is and why it is that we're doing what we do. We've got a couple of visions and values in Priority VA that we like to bring attention to on the regular. One of the ways that we do that is anytime that we actually get on a traditional meeting, a weekly meeting, a stand-up meeting, we share our values. Radical service, undeniable integrity, truth that moves you, engaging commitment, personal growth, visible impact. That's what we want to embody, and we want to remind everybody that they are part of that process, that they are part of that system. And so bringing those values up on a regular basis one of the best ways that you can really bring attention to it with people is to, if you see somebody in this remote environment embodying any of the values that you have in your company, bring attention to it. Call it out, post it in Slack, shoot them a little video saying, hey, I saw you doing this thing. That was radical service. It was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. And bring attention to it. You got to get the message out there and bring everybody into the equation so that those values of the business, of the company, of the organization can be a grounding and solidifying foundation for everybody to be a part of. And just, it brings alignment throughout everybody. So bring attention to those things. Make sure you're showing those company values. Another great way that we like to bring the community into our equation is by ringing the bell. What that looks like is anytime that there's something to celebrate, we actually ring a little bell. We've got a little emoji icon that we put into our Slack channels. We actually have a physical bell on our desk if we want to get really fun with it, and we'll ring this bell either again on video calls, on the Slack channel. It's just a way to celebrate together, to bring the community together, to celebrate some of those moments when you might not have an opportunity to have that FaceTime, but it's like, hey, check it out over here. This is what we're doing. This is something that we need to celebrate. You got to share those wins. You post it in Slack. You have fun with it. Ring multiple bells. Just bring the community together by celebrating, because it's so easy to feel disconnected and you're not always focused on some of those mission critical things that are going to radically move the needle for you, but some of those smaller tasks that you're doing on the regular are just as important. And so take the time, ring the bell. If you see one of your other coworkers or somebody else out in the community that is doing those types of behaviors, ring the bell for them. Bring that attention over to them. Call them out and just empower and engage in that type of way. Everybody loves to hear somebody else praising them and elevating them. And this is a great way to do that. So get a little emoji of a bell and start ringing it all over the place for your team. It's a great way for everybody to see that they're being noticed, that they're still out there, that they are available. And it's the little wins that can really matter right now to keep that spirit high and elevated. And it gives you a chance to just be a little bit silly sometimes too. So ring those bells. There's nothing that's going to be too small for you to really just celebrate those wins. Another great way to stay connected with your team is to have a standardized check-in and check-out process. So you need to make sure you're doing this for yourself as well. But anytime that you know that you're going to step away for lunch, you've got a kid that's doing gymnastics over here, and it's just distracting you, and you want to make sure that the rest of the team knows about it, just have an opportunity to let people know about that. So we have a Slack channel that we titled OOO, Out of Office, and this is where we actually go through our check-in and check-out process. So when we're signing out, when we're stepping away for lunch, when we are disabling all of our notifications because we're going live on Facebook, whatever it is, we like to have a little message that pops up in there, lets people know what's going on and what the status is so that they're not going to be able to interrupt, that they know that they can't ping you right away. It just gives that additional level of communication and clarity, transparency, so everybody knows what's going on. First thing when you step into your office, sit down at your desk, just let everybody know, hey, getting ready to get started. Hope you guys have a great day. Something really simple. And you can get that out in front of people and let them know, hey, you're available. And same thing when you're shutting down for the day. And I gotta stress this. It's really easy when you work from home to continue to work and work and work. It's always here. It's always available. But we've got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and the rest of our group. And so one of the ways that we can do that is by showing and leading in the way of checking out. When it is time for family time, when it is time for dinner, when it is time for your workout, whatever it is that you've identified, make sure you let the rest of the group know. Stepping away for 5 minutes. I'll be right back in 30. Calling it out for the day. I'll be back tomorrow. And just have that type of procedure on the regular. And it's going to help everybody feel like they're engaged. They know what's going on. They're part of the process. And it just offers that decency that we're going to show up when we need to show up. We're going to do what we say we're going to do. and everybody else is going to be aware of what we're doing in that process. So those are a couple of quick tips that I hope will be helpful for you guys as everybody is getting more familiar with working from home, different ways that we can stay connected in a remote environment with a remote group. I hope this was helpful for you guys today. Thank you for spending 10 minutes with me, just going through some of these and having a conversation. Do let me know if you have any of the questions about what's going on here. If there's something else that I can help you guys understand or learn about or grow through as we are stepping into this work from home environment, I am happy to help. I would love to know if you guys have anything else that I can help you with. Let me know in the comments below, and I would be glad to do another pop-up training, do another resource, put something together, because I want to help you guys maximize this time and really stay connected. This is so important for each of us to really rise to the occasion and just help everybody else out as best we can. I'm happy to be a part of that. With that, thank you so much for coming in today. I'm excited to see what you guys might have in store for me that I can help you out with in the future. You guys stay safe out there. Take care.